First I'd like to say, the first gentleman that spoke. Oh, yes, my name is Ron Felton. I'm president of the Wilkes-Barre NAACP. I would just like to say, the first gentleman that spoke, he talked about the right to know request, and I can answer that I've gotten all my requests completed within 5 days. And some of them, the last one I just got handed to me tonight was one of the requests that I made was denied, and I was asking for the union contracts negotiation over the holidays for the last 25 years. So they denied that request, but the other they responded to. The other thing I'd like to say, a request to all this violence and all this stuff. You know, years ago, Andy Mahalshin did a piece called Cocaine Alley. Wilkes-Barre got a drug problem. And black folks is not paying $10 million worth of drugs, buying $10 million worth of drugs. So that's a lot of folks buying drugs in Wilkes-Barre. So we need to deal with the real problem. Wilkes-Barre has a drug problem.
Yes.
And then we talk about, and you know, I came here last year and I encouraged people to go up to the anonymous hotline and to, you know, if you see stuff going on, report that stuff. This is your community.
Exactly.
This is your community. But you know what I was told? I asked one of my friends, I said, why don't any of us participate in Crime Watch? You know what they told me? Because they're only watching us. You're not going to get any participation when people feel they're the only ones being watched. So let's get that straight. But in regards to Sherman Hill, on Wednesday, September the 24th, 2014, Larry Singleton, first vice president of the Wilkes-Barre NAACP, and myself met with property manager John Van Meter at the Sherman Hills complex. The meeting lasted for approximately 1 hour. We went there with the intent to help with the outreach in their efforts to start a tenants association. We tossed around some ideas. Being a member of the task force, I must say, the ultimate solution to Sherman Hill must come from those that reside in Sherman Hill. Some of this can be accomplished by updating their lease agreements and not having people reside in the apartments that have not gone through the proper background check.
Right.
Background checks has to be performed on all potential applicants. I do understand that HUD requires this and that the penalties are stiff. I understand there's a recertification process, even after you've resided there for several years. The majority of the residents of the 344 rental units at Sherman Hills are law-abiding citizens. Members of the task force are sensitive to the needs of the residents as well as their neighbors. In other words, as a member of the task force, we've invited in people, we've encouraged people to come to the task force meetings. We had a person who lived there for 12 years come and speak before the task force. But we are concerned because some of the people feel like they're being put in a concentration camp. So it's not an easy fix. It's a complicated issue. So we have to take some time and work this thing out. And yes, there's an interagency task force that's dealing with all this drug stuff and activity. And now I do understand that Sherman Hills was sold for what, 17 million?
Wow.
And the city gets property tax from Sherman Hill. They get property tax from Sherman Hill. So what are they doing with the money? So what I want to say is that this here, the NAACP believes in background checks, but we will not accept nor tolerate racial profiling. Now, we plan to have future meetings with Mr. Van Meter, and I'm keeping Congressman Cartwright's office informed of such meetings. And last thing I'd like to say When I first came to city council more than 18 years ago, after the city council meeting, the first person that extended their hand to me was, at that time, he was the police chief, Chief Bill Barrett. And I've never forgotten that. And I really do appreciate it. He came to me out of the blue. And I thank you for that.